Hi guys, today we're going to have a look back and reflect on things that have helped me to progress as a sim racer over the past 3 months. I'm still far from perfect. I've had many an incident in the last few races, but I have improved immensely from day one. These 5 things I feel have helped me the most on the journey. Some of them you might not expect, so please listen on and feel free to share this with others. First thing I'd like to say is that this is point one, your experience is personal. Not everything someone else has experienced will apply to you. I use the brake load cell pedal and club sport wheel as an example here. Upgrading to the load cell did not make me quicker, as many people had suggested in various social media forums. Whereas the club sport wheel made me 2 seconds a lap quicker within 5 laps or so of practice. So it's really immediate. Now, this might be down to, at the time, my poor driving, probably still is my poor driving, but it could just be this has helped correct some of my bad habits. Who knows? My point here is that whilst many people said I would get a better improvement in my driving from the load cell pedal, I actually got a better improvement from the wheel and the improved force feedback. So when looking at opinions on Reddit or whatever your source of knowledge is, just remember that your mileage may vary. Point number 2, get to know your tracks. Familiarize yourself with the track that you want to drive on and then watch track guides. First off, go do a couple of laps on it, then go and have a look at a track guide. Try out what you're seeing in that track guide and then try again. You might have missed something. Where possible, watch that track guide again and just rinse and repeat until you think you're very close to what you're seeing on screen. You can also go and have a look at things like Motec traces to get you even closer to what you think you're seeing. It'll help you with things like steering angles, braking, acceleration points, where people are carrying more speed through corners. That's very helpful if you've got the time to learn it. I will have a handy video up soon which will go through the basics of Motec. Point 3, consistency. Consistency leads to confidence, and that leads to a little more speed. So how can you make yourself more consistent? Doing many laps of one track is one way. We've already talked about that, and doing the whole rinse and repeat. I did the practice makes perfect video a while back, and that is full of newbie mistakes. Essentially leads to the conclusion that to learn a track and to be quick on a track, you just hot lap. So basically what I talked about in 2.2, but without any interaction with any other drivers. And that's not really going to make you a better driver. It might make you better at hot lapping, but really you're going to have to do some laps with some challenging AI or maybe some public lobbies and see how you can get around those drivers. Because honestly, just being fast on a track is only part of the experience of being a sim racer. Learning where the best overtaking spots are on a track is probably more important than learning how to be quick on that track. Obviously, if you're not quick on the track, you're not going to be doing a lot of overtaking, but you might have to do some defending. So knowing where it's easiest to overtake will allow you to defend better as well. Whilst hardware shouldn't be your first answer to this question, there are ways it can improve your consistency. A more progressive spring on your brake pedal or even a load cell will help you to build up muscle memory. VR or a TrackIR helps you to track the apex into corners. If you can see into the corners, you can hopefully turn into them at the same level every time. Better force feedback can give you a sense of when your car is sliding into corners or coming out of them. And all of these things will help you to be more consistent. It's kind of a progressive thing. You build upon those different things. So I've gone load cell pedal. I've improved my steering wheel. I've probably am going to go for a different wheelbase later on in the year, but this is a good mid-level for me. Then we also have VR. I use the Valve Index, which gives me a pretty wide field of view, and that helps me to look into the apex of corners whilst also being able to keep an eye on drivers around me. Building up this consistency will give you more confidence and allow you to push harder. My fourth point is setup. Setup does matter, and it is somewhat personal to you. The way you drive a car makes a huge difference on if the setup will work for you or not. I've tried various kind of paid for setups and I really struggle with them. I've had to learn how to make my own setups. If you need a car firmly planted at the rear, you aren't going to like it if you have a loose back end in the setup, for example. Understanding what you like in a car goes some way into allowing you to customize it to make you faster, but only when you know how to do it. Some games give you a good baseline to work with, like Assetto Corsa Competitione's aggressive setup. Actually, the safe setup's still pretty good. And if you know how to dial in or dial out certain characteristics, then you can build upon that. So if you want your back end to be more stable, then you can play around with things like your anti-roll bar. My fifth point, and I think this is probably the most important, join a community. I've mentioned communities a little bit in the previous points, but I'd say this is the biggest key to improving your driving. You're not only getting more race experience with people that are less likely to crash into you, but you're also getting to know these people. You'll make new friends along the way, and these relationships are good for your well-being and your driving. If you're starting out, I'd recommend looking at a beginner-friendly series like Assetto Corsa Competizione Sim Series, which can be found at accsimseries.squarespace.com, or DGSR, which can be found in the Discord link below. These kind of communities are very beginner friendly. You can ask questions about certain ways of driving or how to attack a particular circuit, and you won't be judged. These are also people that are beginners or backmarkers or people that have slowly improved their driving over time. So they will be able to relate to your questions. And that's it. Those are my 5 personal lessons learned over the last 3 months. I'm sure there will be many more in the future. Please like and subscribe to this channel and maybe follow one of the links coming up. Thank you. Bye-bye.